Whyalla is located on the east coast of the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia and is regarded as one of the country's best snapper fisheries. We're fishing with Steve Storick from Whyalla Fishing Charters, and they don't call him Snapper Steve for nothing. Welcome to Whyalla here in South Australia. We're fishing with Whyalla Fishing Charters. Steve Storick, good mate of mine, and we've hooked our first snapper. Whyalla literally is the snapper capital of Australia, and they get some very, very big fish here. I'm fishing a very light rig here. This is a flame reel. I've only got 10-pound braid, and maybe I should have gone a little bit heavier. But we've only been fishing for about 15-20 minutes. And we've got a good fish, and I think we might have to get you, Steve, to come and grab this rod out of the way, because I think I'm snagged up on it. I don't know which way it is, but every time I...
Oh, this one's on too.
And you're on too. I don't know where we are or what's going on there.
Mate.
Underneath, yeah.
No, maybe not.
That's it, we're off. Oh, hello.
We're off.
All right.
This is the stuff.
This is the stuff.
Welcome to Whyalla.
Yeah, thanks, mate. We did a trip with Steve last year, which was just fantastic. We got some great fish, and I hit my personal best of 11 kilos. That's the biggest snapper I've ever caught. It's absolutely fantastic fishing. And I've got a feeling, I don't know, you might be able to crack that on this trip.
Yeah, we've been pulling up a few big fellas here in the last couple of weeks, and we're up to 14 kilos at the moment.
14 kilos?
Yeah.
That's a big snapper.
You could be in for a trophy fish, mate.
Oh, I tell you what. You know, it's really interesting. A lot of people go to the north to catch the iconic barramundi, and it's all about getting one over a metre. Well, these snapper, when you're pushing 11, 12, 13, 14 kilos, they are over a metre. That is a magic, magic fish.
Have you warmed up now?
Yeah, I'm warm now, mate. Steve said to us, Mark, we're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, no, we're not. You're getting up at 4, I'm getting up about 7. But no, he got me up at 4. So we can get out on his spot, and that's the advantage, going out with a guide. They know the spots. Got us onto this spot, the sun's just come up, and we're double bending.
All right, I've just got a bit of colour now. So, because Mark's busy tied up on his fish, I'm going to have to do the
nice fish,
skills and
mate.
netting. He's not a bad one.
What a way to start the day, look at that.
Just drag him over.
Oh, look at that.
Come on, mate, get in
What a
there.
great fish.
We've got him. He's safe, he's in the boat. Right, I'm going to put him in the air ski.
Are you sure that this is a snapper and not some dog shark?
Nah, mate, you have got yourself. I reckon you might have a trophy fish here, Mark.
Serious?
Yeah, you can normally tell by the head shake. When you're fishing your sort of 6 to 10 kilo fish, the head shake's fast and jittery because they're a smaller fish and they're darting around a lot faster.
Yeah.
When you've got the big old trophy fish, the sort of the 15 kilo magical mark, you've got the big, slow, thudding head shake. You can really see the weight in the tip of your rod there. So
I can barely turn this guy's head.
I might put it down as a big trophy fish, I'd say.
Oh, don't say that. Look at that. Look at the bend in this trinus. Yeah, I'm starting to win now. It's really important when you're fighting a fish, whether it's a snapper or a tuna or a kingfish or whatever it might be. When you're doing these pumps and you pump your rod up, you turn the fish's head, that you actually start your wind on your reel before you drop your rod tip. Oh yeah, got colour, here he is, nice fish. Oh, hello, look at that. That's what we come here for.
Got yourself a nice one.
Wow, look at that. What a fish. Grab Grab that. That's not, look how fat it is. Look how fat that fish is. 9 to 10 kilo snapper on our first fish here in Whyalla. That's amazing fishing. But you know what? We're going to keep a few fish today because we're going to do some filleting later on. We're going to eat some fish tonight. But this guy, he deserves to live and he's going back in the drink. Thanks, big guy. You are amazing. Great stuff.
Oh, we're on again.
Another fish. That's a big one.
Oh.
Spear him back in. Give me a bath and pew down to the deep. No, you take it.
There we go, we got him up. He's a nice colour. He's not a bad little fish.
Yeah, lovely fish. Oh, look at that, hey?
Alright, we've got another nice one. He's not a Whyalla snapper, but we'll put him back for another day and see if he becomes a few kilos bigger and maybe catch him some other time. There you go, mate. That's a good feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Here he goes.
Yes! Boom! That's what we want to see.
Oh, now he knows he's hooked.
Good fish, mate?
Yeah, he's a good one, yeah. You little ripper.
How's that fishing addiction rod, mate?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's
You like
pretty
it?
impressive. I do like it.
You bought a couple too, didn't you?
Yes, I've got half a dozen of them in my cabin, and
Oh, have you?
they've had a hard workout too, and they haven't failed yet. They've been really, really good.
Pretty good for a rod that retails for what, 90 bucks or something? It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. They're pretty good quality.
Well, that's what we wanted to do. Myself and Dean Ferguson from Akuma, we said we want to bring out a good quality fiberglass rod that looks slick and does the job, but it's not going to break the bank, you know?
Yeah.
Because I imagine your punters would be a bit rough on the gear sometimes.
Yes, they cop a pretty hard task, but they stand up to it every time, so
No, that's good. That's what
it's
we
pretty
want.
impressive.
Very good. Oh, beautiful fish. Oh, yeah, look at that!
He's in the boat. He's in the boat.
Wow, mate, that's 10 plus.
It's a good one. He swallowed those hooks too.
Gosh, mate.
I might just take these gloves
This place is unbelievable. Oh, he's awesome. Awesome fish. You can hear the air coming out of him, which is a good thing. The air's draining out. Oh, magic animal, mate. So, what size? What do you reckon?
He'd be a good tenner, I'd say.
Tenner, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a fair bit of weight behind him.
10 kilo. Now, 10 kilo snapper are the norm here in Whyalla, aren't they?
Yes.
Like, you do get them a lot, don't you?
They're pretty much your trophy size fish. Anything like 10 and up, so he's a good fish.
So with a couple of hooks down there, you can see them, they're not down in his gill rakers or anything, they're just sort of in there, but we don't want to go hunting around for them. They'll just rust out, won't they?
Yes, after a couple of days they'll be dissolved and gone, so
And he's good
shouldn't
as gold
affect
to
him
fight
much.
another day. Magical fish,
just
mate.
put him straight back in. I'm going to go for the big throw, so we'll just plonk him in and
Get that air
let
through
him
the
go.
gills and away
Here he
he'll go.
goes. And
Down to the
gone.
deep. Congratulations, mate. Great
Awesome.
fish. Woohoo! Now you'll see how Steve released that fish. You think, oh, he's chucking the fish in. He's actually doing the fish a favour by giving him a bit of a heave-ho, head first into the water, gets all that oxygen through his gills again, fires him up, and he shoots back down to the deep. This place is fantastic. Whyalla. Snapper capital of Australia. Snapper man! He's a lovely fish. Oh, sonker.
get him back, eh?
Look how red he is. Beautiful fish. See you, champ.
See you later, mate.
Well, mate, that was some fantastic fish so far. I'm really excited to get an even bigger one though. Might happen.
Maybe.
Maybe. Mate, let's go through the rig that we're actually using here. This is what you typically use on most of your charters?
Yep, this is pretty much what we use on all the charters, and a lot of the locals use the same rig as well. It's quite famous up here. We've just basically got our main line, which is roughly between 20 and 30 pound.
Yep.
We've got what we call these easy rigs. They're a sliding sinker rig, as you can see.
Yep.
This allows you to be able to just simply unclick the sinker and roll the sinker on and off to change.
Get a heavier one or a lighter one.
Yep, a variety of different size of sinkers for different currents. You can fish your unweighted baits still with them, and also allows it when the fish pick the bait up.
Yep.
They've got no weight tagging behind them. It'll allow for the line to run through.
Just runs through like that. They actually don't feel that weight of that sinker. It doesn't turn them off.
Yeah, and running down onto the leader, which is roughly about 60 pounds.
Now, 60 pounds pretty heavy, but you get rocky bottoms.
We do.
And monstrous fish.
Big snapper, and there's a lot of sharp reef down there because we're fishing artificial reefs, so it just stands a bit better of a chance. You can get away with a lighter, but 60 pounds
better
is
safe than sorry. Hook a fish of a lifetime.
And just going down to 2 snelled hooks.
Okay, now snell hooks. Explain what they are to the folks at home.
Basically, we've got 2 hooks snelled, probably about an inch or 2 apart from each other. You can fish a single hook, but just a double hook, double your chance. Do get a lot of fish that will grab the bottom hook, and a lot of the times the bottom hook will fall out the side of the mouth, and the fish will get hooked with the top hook. So double your chances up, and also will present your bait a lot better. Yeah,
let's show the folks at home how to do that. Now, you got a lovely little squid there.
Yep, a little torpedo squid. Basically, if you double snelled hooks, you would just start with the top hook. I usually just go through the bottom of the squid and working your way back up. Always make sure you push your hook so it's exposed. And same again with the second hook. Just twice like so. So we got a hook on either side. And I usually just lock it off with a half hitch around the tail, like so. Yep, and
just so it holds it on there.
Perfectly presented.
Yeah, look at that. And it's really important that your hooks are actually facing up the line. So if it's actually sitting in the current like that and a fish comes up to grab it, it's going to grab it and it's going to hook itself like that. The hooks are facing the wrong direction, well, that's just not going to happen.
Yep, and that's pretty much how we present all our baits. Same as your fish baits, the same thing. Hook through twice, hitch around the tail, and
it holds it in place. Yeah, and this is what catches you all these beautiful Whyalla snapper.
Sure does.
Very, very simple rig. So that's what you need to do when you're going fishing for snapper. Now, how many different braids are there on the market, folks? There are hundreds. Confused on which one to get? Well, get this stuff and you won't be confused anymore, because I believe it's the best available right now. It's called the Suffix 832. Now, the 832 stands for 8 different braided fibres, one of which is gore. It's called gore, it's like from Gore-Tex, and there are 32 weaves per inch. Can you believe that? So 32 weaves in that 1 inch makes it very, very strong. You get superior knot strength with this stuff. It's very, very abrasion resistant, and of course you get incredible casting distance as well. So if you're not sure what to get some of this stuff. Suffix 832. I've switched all my reels over to this, and I know once you give this a try, you'll be stoked and you'll never change. Suffix 832, it is the best of the best. Snapper are definitely one of those fish that, you know, the theory for years and years and years was dawn and dusk was definitely the time to catch fish. There's a bite on this rod here too, mate. But, you know, we've caught lots of different fish, you know, southern jewfish and all sorts of big kingies and so forth right in the middle of the day, even big snapper right in the middle of the day. However, snapper are one of those fish that do respond to fishing right as that sun comes up over the horizon. And it's cold, but if you want quality fish, well, you've got to put in the hard yards. It's coming now.
Hurricanes.
Oh, look at that. Oh, mate, I've lost count of how many big ones now. That's like 4. Oh, look at that. What a fish. Oh, these truly are magnificent fish. Look at the spots on him. Just the red, pink, just beautiful. Nice big knob on his head. Magnificent fish, just beautiful. Look at this early morning sunlight. This is what fishing is all about, right here. Quality fish, good company.
Oh, we're on
the rod going off. Am I going to release this one? That's my little rod. I need that one.
Here we
He's
go,
back
mate.
in. Thank you, Steve. Now, this is what we call the kamikaze rod. Ooh. I couldn't help but bring this outfit. The guys at Akuma said, Mark, we've got this new gear. You've got to come and check it out. I went to the factory and they said, have a go at this bad boy. This is the Trio, and this is the 40 size reel from Akuma, and it's matched up with a Trio rod, so they're perfectly balanced. This is a 6 to 8 kilo two-piece rod, again from Akuma. We've got that Suffix 832 braid, which is just magnificent. Now on these videos, folks, we do talk about the gear a lot, but it is a promotional video. That's what it's all about. That's why it's free. And I just want to make mention of one other thing. All Akuma reels, and this is very, very cool. All Akuma reels come with a lifetime warranty. No other reel that I know of gives you that. So if something goes wrong in 3 years, 5 years time, bail arm falls off or whatever have you, Akuma will fix it for you. Cost you nothing. Send it in, you got to pay for your postage. You send it in, the guys will turn it over fairly quickly, get it back to you, and you're back on the water again. Now that's a brand that is backing its product right there. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It is good. It's pretty impressive.
All right, enough talk, back to the fish.
I reckon we got a bit of colour. Yep, there he is.
Oh, look at that!
It's a good fish too. Good fish. Get him in the net.
Yes, yes, yes.
That is a good fish.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. Again, around that 10, pushing 11 kilos, I'd say. Would you think, mate?
Yep, he's about that, yep.
Oh, magnificent fishing. And not just one, but 2, 3. How many have we got now? A 5 or something?
Yeah, about 6, I think.
6,
we've actually
around this
got,
size.
yeah.
That's amazing fishing. Beautiful, beautiful animal. Deserves to live. Nothing wrong with taking one home for a feed. This guy, he's going to go back in the water. He's as good as gold. All right, off you go, pal. Now, one of the rigs that we're using here on this trip to Whyalla, this is the Akuma Avenger. ABF 60, it's a 60 size reel, but it's actually the bait feeder. And if you've never seen a bait feeder before, it has this little mechanism on the back, so you can actually be in basically almost in free spool. And then when you turn your handle over, it actually clicks it back into gear. So if a fish takes your bait, it can actually run free with it without feeling any restriction whatsoever. And it's a good way to catch snapper. Here we go. Little panty. Oh yeah. He's going back to fight another day. See you, little guy. Okay, folks, you know that catching snapper on bait can be done, but also catching them on soft plastics and all sorts of other lures is great fishing as well. Now, mate, I've brought with me a myriad of lures that we've used to catch snapper. But you've just dragged one of these bad boys out. Tell me about this sucker.
Well, that's an old Williamson jig I had laying around. I pulled out once, and it was absolutely dynamite. We caught 74 big snapper on one of those guys. Yep.
It's funny, this one here is called the Arrowhead Bucktail Jig, which you'll still find in your tackle store, but they actually now called a Banjo Head Bucktail Jig. Now, no matter where we go throughout Australia, any reef that we fish, these things catch fish. They're absolutely amazing. But I didn't think about one of these for snapper, but you're telling me that this is the go.
Yeah, well, I had a guy actually tell me on one of my charters earlier that they were really good, so I gave it a try, and yeah, every time we threw it in the water, it produced a result, so I've been using it ever since, and yeah, I'd swear by them, they're absolutely brilliant. It's
like a hybrid lure, isn't it? You've got your metal head, then you've got your bucktail.
Yep.
And then obviously you've got a big soft plastic hanging off the end of it too. And you like bright colours on these snapper too, don't you?
Yeah, I always think bright colours are good up here for sure.
How many snapper did you get on one of these?
74.
Well, how'd you count 74 snapper?
Well, actually, I had a piece of paper in my cabin, and every time I caught a fish, I'll put a mark on that piece of paper, and by the end of it, there was just nothing left. It was just basically a hook and a jig head full of teeth marks, but it worked.
After a magic day on the water with Steve, we headed home and met up with a few locals on the way.
you go. Good boy. That's fantastic. Amazing. One of the best things I've ever done. That's just brilliant. Well, to the Snapper King, mate, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Again, my second trip with you, and smashed them yet again.
Yeah, it's been a good trip, that's for sure.
Yeah, big. So the biggest fish was probably just nudging over 10 kilos, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep.
That's a big snapper, man.
Yep, no, it's pretty good fish.
Yeah.
Pretty good fish.
Now you cater for all sorts of different people, families, and how many
Yep.
blokes can you take on at a time?
I can take up to 7. I normally cater good groups of people between 4 and 6. There's plenty of room to fish on the boat, no tangles and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And you supply everything, don't you? All
Yep.
the gear,
Yep.
everything.
Just jump on, catch a fish and go home with your fish. So.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, mate. Whyalla Fishing Charters number, website on your screen right now. And before we sign off, we've got one more little mate to feed. Come over here, mate. I know you want it. Yes, good job.
He's happy now.
That's cool. The Snapper Man, Steve Storick. Yeah, Whyalla Fishing Charters. Now you must fillet hundreds of these suckers.
Yeah, mate, sure do every
do?
day.
Well, we're going to test out this, the new Martini knife wrap. You open it up there, you get 2 knives that slot into there, a smaller one and a longer one for filleting, and you get a knife sharpener as well, and it rolls up beautifully, sort of just tucks into the gunnel of your boat or whatever have you. Mate, going a bit fast. Settle down. Oh, look at that for a fillet.
This knife is just razor blade sharp, mate. It's an absolute cracker.
That's the thing. Kids, if you do get a Martini knife, be very, very careful because they actually come really, really, really sharp. So, old Lightning Jack over here, we'll get you to do that one first and then we'll spin over and show the folks at home how you did it.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Now,
No worries.
brim and whiting and flathead and so forth are fairly easy to fillet, and you've seen us do them before, but bigger fish, like a nice big snapper like this, now he'd be what, about 5 kilos, this fish, you think?
Yeah,
maybe
about
6?
Yep.
5 or 6 kilos, so it's a reasonable sized fish. Nice fillet, look at that. Sensational. And hardly any flesh left behind. Spin him over, and let's do it in slow-mo this time. And talk us through it, mate.
Basically, just got to watch out for the spines while you're doing it. It's got some big sharp spines that can get you. That's why I see always got gloves on. But
Yep.
yeah, just basically starting behind the main fin there,
Yep.
working way back down towards
Cutting
the
on
head.
an angle in behind its head.
Yep, and just following the main bone all the way down. Just,
So you're not trying to slice in too deep there, just get a cut started.
yep, just get a cut started, work your way down. And basically, just keep working the knife down along the bone. It's pretty easy. If you've got a good knife, you've got no worries at all. This one's just cutting through like butter. It's very, very easy with a good sharp knife. You can just hear it crunching down along the bone there.
So you're just running the knife over the top of the bones of the fish,
Yep.
and then you'll hit his backbone over the top of the backbone and just keep it slicing through.
Here's a little tricky bit.
Right, spin
This
it
is the way I
around.
like to do it. Spin it around, grab the flesh, and basically just pull that fillet up
Yep.
and just work that blade along that backbone like so. Just make those 2 cuts together and pull the fillet off just like so.
Look at that. Look at that for a fillet.
Easy.
Man, we're going to eat well tonight. Fresh Whyalla snapper. Okay, so that's done. The frame is done, with the hook still hanging out of him.
Some people like to eat the wings as well. They're quite easily removed. Good
Okay,
in
yeah.
a smoke box and good on a barbecue. I can
Okay. Yeah,
whiz
show us
them
how you
off
do
for
that,
you.
mate. Yeah.
Basically,
definitely.
just cut straight down the chin of the fish and whiz the knife down. It's just a matter of cracking it forward, popping one side off,
Yep.
popping the other side off. Normally just run the knife down here. That's beautiful. Give that a good wash, put a bit of butter in there, a bit of alpha oil on top, bake that for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Beautiful.
Looks disgusting now, but I'm sure it's going to taste wonderful later on. Now, Steve, the fillet's still got the skin and the scales on it, so
Yep.
you obviously skin these fillets.
Yep.
Now, it's quite a big fillet, and you did mention to me before that normally you wouldn't use such a sharp knife.
No, not for skinning. I'd use a nice long blade, and I prefer them actually to be a little bit blunt when I'm skinning fish. It just seems to be easier to separate the flesh from the skin.
Because a
So
real sharp one's too easy to sort of dig right into it.
it'll
isn't
just cut straight through the skin. So we'll
Right,
see
yeah.
how we go with it. I
Yeah.
might be able to
You've got
master
thousands of
it.
people
But
watching, no big deal, no pressure.
no,
mate.
no pressure.
Okay, so you just start a little bit further
Yeah,
back, left a
just
little tail in there.
Little tail in there to get a bit of a grip. Basically just working our way down the fillet.
Oh, that's beautiful, look at that.
It's pushing and pulling.
What are you talking about, mate? That's perfect. Look at
Couple
that.
more.
Perfect. Look at that. That's the skin gone, and you have a magnificent, look at that, that's just the skin completely gone. You have a magnificent, fresh snapper. Whyalla snapper fillet. Oh, baby.
I'll let you take that home for a jacket or a purse.
You idiot. So that's how you fillet a big snapper. Thanks, mate. Oh yeah, got colour. Here he is, nice fish. Oh, hello, look at that. The Spencer Gulf here in South Australia surely is an incredible fishery. As you saw today with some of the snapper that we caught, I mean, they were great. Some of them were over 10 kilos, and Steve Storick from Whyalla Fishing Charters often gets them up to 15, 16 kilos. But not only are the snapper, you can also catch great whiting here, big mulloway, and monster kingfish as well. So we'll definitely be back here to Whyalla in South Australia. Special thanks to Steve, Whyalla Fishing Charters. He's a great guide. Second time I fish with him now. I'll be back next year, but he's also a very lovely bloke. So make sure you give him a call if you're coming to this neck of the woods and you want to catch that dream snapper. Until next time, I'm Mark Berg. See you on the water.